Alright guys, so welcome to today's video. In today's video we will create Gear 5. So, spoiler alert at this point, this is something which has been featured in the manga. So if you do not want to know anything about it, then just quit watching the video at this point. But if you want to know how to create it, then keep watching guys. So I'm just gonna work with what we have for now. And for now I mean chapter everything till chapter 1044. So first of all, you see those smoke beams on Luffy's shoulders. So let's first of all try to recreate those. Alright, so first of all insert some parts, and also let's insert a dummy. So what we need to do now is that, first of all, we have to align. Wait, this could be too small to be honest, but we'll see. So let's actually do it this way. So okay, so this could be too much. So we're going to work with beams. I'm gonna show you what it is, and then you'll hopefully understand why I'm doing this with those parts. So those parts are going to mark some spots in which the beams are going to go through. Okay, there we go. So this probably looks like a mess for you, but we're going to work with this now, and hopefully you're going to understand what those parts are supposed to do. So first of all, insert an attachment into all of these. Oh, come on. Now let's do it this way. So attachment, copy, select all of these, paste. There we go. Now, let's do the following. So we have now attachments inside all of these, and we need these attachments because for the following reason. Now, insert a beam inside of here. So I'm going to tell you the reason now. Wait. So let's start up here. Let's ungroup everything. Let's call this one 1. Now, this is 1. And let's pretend that this is 2. Now let's add a beam inside of here. And this beam right here, okay? So let me just quickly explain how this beam works. So for this beam to actually work, you'll need to select attachment 0 and attachment 1. Basically, attachment 0 is the attachment from where the beam is starting, and attachment 1 is the attachment to which the beam is heading to. Now, since we have an attachment inside of here and inside of here, this one is going to be attachment 0, and this one is going to be attachment 1. Means the beam is going to look like this. Okay. Now we have one problem because this is not the texture we want to use. So if we want to use another texture, we can just do the following. So we can just still looking out for it. So let's insert a particle emitter and oh come on. This particle emitter right here. Copy this texture from it and paste it inside of the beam. Can delete the particle emitter. As you can see, if we change this texture right here from sparkles to smoke, then the following is going to happen. Then things look like this. Now set the transparency to 0, and we can now go on. So paste the second beam inside of 2, and then make this your third one. And make sure that attachment 0 becomes this one, and attachment 3 becomes this one. Then this will happen, as you can see. And now we have to do everything, or we have to do the same step for every other parts right here. So this one becomes 4. This one becomes 5. This one becomes 6. And this one becomes 7. Now, at this point, I'm just going to redo all of these steps, and I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to speed up this whole part right here, and then we'll see each other when, yeah, we are done with those beams right here. So. So at this point right here, we have finished with one side. Now we have to move on with the other side, so we have to do the exact same for this one. So we can move on by calling this 10 if we want to. Oh, not 10, but 8. And then we have to make a connection from 1 to 8, which seems pretty odd, but well, that's just how it is. Okay, so here we go. So we have now done all of this beam work right here. Now to finish off this whole thing, we have to do the following. So we have to select all of these parts and make sure that they're transparent. Now we have this, yeah, okay, so we have this illusion of those smoke beams right here. Yeah, which fit into this Gear 5 scheme. Now, as you can see, there are some, yeah, graphic issues at this point, so, but that's just how it is. Alright, so now we have to do one more thing, and this has to do with welding everything together. Now, what we could do is that we do everything manually, or we could do it per script, then play the game, and then just take the result and work with that one. but I'm not sure on how we are going to do this. So let me just first of all create this part right here. This part is going to hold all of the other parts. So beam part. I'll make sure that it is transparent and put all of these inside of here. And when we move this, then all of these move as well. Okay. Now, what we could do is that we add a script inside of here. So script parent children. Right. For IV in pairs, script parent your children do. Now, if V is a part, then local x instance.out constraint x V x name belt x part 0 script parent part 1 is this one. So what we are basically doing right here is that we are looping through this beam part. So we're getting all of these, and then we are checking whether the part we are currently at is a part. So not a script, but a part. So these. And if this requirement is met, then we are creating a veld constraint inside of all of these. We are going to call it veld constraint veld. And we are going to put the part 1 of this veld, means the part you are attaching something onto. So this one. So this becomes our part 0. Now part 1 is the part you are attaching onto something, and this one is, yeah, B means one of these. Since we're looping through, we are looping through each of them, and each of them becomes part 1. Now, why have we done this? So we could have just done everything manually by hand, but now we can do the following. So we can play this, so we can run this, and as you can see, this is now welded together, and we can now copy this and paste it inside of here. As you can see, everything is welded together, and we can get rid of this one, and we can get rid of this script right here. There we go. So that's it, or yeah, that was the idea behind it. So instead of welding everything manually, we have now welded everything via script once, just to take it. Here we go. There we go. Now let's check if everything is okay. So it is welded correctly. Perfect. Okay, now next thing we have to deal with is the hair of our Gear 5. So the hair is of course going to be created inside of Blender. This one right here could become more difficult, but we'll try to do it anyways. So we have this head right here. I think that this head right here was from the Titan giveaway video. So all you have to do is just export one head, okay? So we could even pick out this dummy right here. Right click on his head, then export selection, then export it onto somewhere. And now we are going to open up Blender. We are going to create the hair, this Gear 5 hair, this head. So see you in Blender. Alright, so back here in Blender, I have enabled this plugin right here so you can see my mouse inputs. Go to File, Import OBJ, and then import the head model, and then I'll start building the hair on that head model. So if you want to know how to build hair inside of Blender for Roblox, then check out my tutorial on that, because I have already made a tutorial on doing so. Now, I'm going to speed up the video at this point, so I'm not going to talk or anything. I'm just going to speed up. You can follow my inputs if you want to, and then I'll be back once the model is finished. Okay, so this is all about it for the hair. Now, click on this head, click on the hair, and then go to convert to, so object convert to, and then mesh from curve whatsoever, and then we have the single mesh right here. Now, you can delete the head. No, do not delete it yet. Wait, delete the circle if you want to. Okay, now, as you can see down here, on the right hand side, it says triangles 54,000. Okay, so we have to get this number right here, we have to get it below 10,000. So how can we do that? Select this here, then go to modifier and add the decimate modifier. And now, yeah, just write in any small decimal number. Okay, so this seems alright, so apply. I'm gonna shade this smooth, I'm gonna apply some other modifiers. So this is our gear 5 here. Now this is our hair right here. So now go to file, export OBJ, and then export this thing, okay? And then we'll see each other inside of Roblox Studio. Okay, so back in Roblox Studio, right click on the workspace, add a mesh port inside of here, and then go to this file icon, and then just add the hair which you have just exported from Blender. Now, take some time to load, but there we go. Now, actually, regarding the color, since Gear 5 is only out for the manga, we cannot really say which color the hair has at this point. So some people or some interpretations think that it has some kind of fiery color, so red, orange, and yellow. Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure at this point, so either I'm gonna use red or I'm gonna use white. I'm not sure, but I'm probably gonna stick with red. So I'm gonna add a val constraint inside of here. So port 0 becomes the head. Port 1 is our hair. Makes sense, hopefully. So port 0 is the port you're attaching something onto, which is the head, and we are currently attaching the hair, therefore hair is port 1. Alright, now let me move this beam part right here instead of this dummy as well. Now, port 0 is the humanoid root port for this one. Where is it? Humanoid root port, where is it? It is right here. And port 1 is this one, of course. Make sure that this can collide faults. It anchors faults as well. Now, let me select the hair once again. Okay, there we go. Let me delete the face. And let me add shirts and pants. And then we are going to create this Gear 5 model. And then I'm going to show you how to attach it onto the player. And we're going to create some animations for him. And then we are going to create the moves in another episode. Because there are barely any moves out right now. And the moves we currently have, well, I don't know. They do not really show... no, they really do not represent all of the moves Gear 5 could possibly do, so you know, I prefer to wait till all of the attacks are out or something like that, and then we can have one full video on all of these attacks. So let me get some shirt and pants ID for those templates, and then I'm gonna move on with attaching this onto your character. So okay, so here we go. So I hope that you know how to add shirts and pants to your character via those templates right here. If not, then it's actually your problem, because that's the most easiest thing you can possibly do. Alright, now let's try to attach this onto our character. So make sure that Cancolite is false and the anchor is false as well. And regarding Cancolite, actually keep Cancolite. Well, no, never mind. Just keep it false. Now, here 5. Let's move this one inside of the replicated storage. And let's do the following. So let's insert a tool. Make sure that requires handlers off. Let's call this one here 5. And let's add a local script inside of it. Let's add a remote event inside of it. And let's add a script inside of it. Now, okay, so inside of this local script, let's actually do the following. So let's refer to the tool first of all, and when the tool is equipped, and we want to transform inside of into this Gear 5 right here. When the tool is unequipped, then we want to do the exact opposite. So script Gear 5 remote. Script parent Gear 5 remote on server event. So basically when this remote event right here has been fire servered, which happens right here. So when a tool is being equipped, then we want to fire server with the task to activate. So this parameter, this first argument right here, it represents the task the script is going to do. And the same goes for when the tool is unequipped, because then the fire server or the server gets the task to remove the Gear 5. And this is basically the place where the server reacts to those fire servers. So the first argument right here is always the player. So the player is not passed right here, but it is automatically being passed. Second one is the task. Now, if what means the task equals activate, then we want to activate the Gear 5. So how do we do that? We first of all have to loop through our character. So player children 2. Okay, now we are basically looping through our character, and we are encountering each body part, and not even each body part, but also each accessory, each whatsoever, you know. So everything inside of our character. And we basically have to check whether the thing we are currently at is a part or a mesh part, because we want to, we have now the task to make our character transparent. And we can only do that by changing the transparency of every brick, be it mesh part or part, to 1. Therefore, we have to check whether the part we're currently at is a part or is a mesh part. Because if that's the case, then we want to set the transparency to 1. Now there's one more thing. So if we have encountered the head, so if the name is head, then we want the face's transparency to be at 1 as well. Now, once this happens, so let me just play, let me see if we are actually being transparent after this. Here we are. Now, once this happens, we want to attach this Gear 5 model onto our character. So, local G, game, get service, replicated storage, wait for child, Gear 5, clone. G parent equals player character. Local W. So we have basically referred to this Gear 5, which is inside of the replicated storage. We have cloned it. And now we are parenting it, means we are putting it inside of our character. Now we have to create a weld which attaches the humanoid root port of this Gear 5 model to our humanoid root. So the port 0, as I've told you already, is the port on which we are attaching something onto. In this case, we are attaching the Gear 5's humanoid root port to our humanoid root port. So, player. Why is he always suggesting parent plugin? So port 1, basically W parent, because W parent is the Gear 5's humanoid root port. Let's play and let's see what happens. Thing is that, as you can see, I'm actually able to move around with this one. Now the only problem is that there is no animation and that we have to make sure that the C frame of the humanoid root part wait, I think that we can also do it this way, so WC1. I think that this should work out as well. Let's see. No, it does not. It does not. Yeah, anyways, let's just make sure that the humanoid root port of the Gear 5 model equals the character's humanoid root port C frame, so that we are not being teleported to where the Gear 5 model is. No. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now, the only thing which is missing is the animation. Let me just quickly create it. Then we are good to go. So right click on the Gear 5, create an animation, call it idle. Let's create this idle animation. So I'm gonna make a unique one. So we basically have this image of Luffy where he's like laughing his ass off. So let's just use this one for reference. Come on. Come on. Why? Like, why? Why am I not able to animate on this one? But I think I know one. Let's remove this beam port. Maybe it is because of that one. Okay. It actually has to do with that one. So let's move this one away. There we go. Now. So this animation is going to look like shit, to be honest, but be happy about it. So at least we have an animation, you know. I'm also not sure about the moves of this Gear 5 right here. So apparently Luffy has become immortal or something like that. So it's like almost killing Kaido. Literally, like he's just playing around with him, you know, and I couldn't even imagine that Luffy's not able to fly or something like that, you know. So therefore, I'm gonna make him levitate on this idling animation right here. But I personally think that I have to change the animation as well later on, because it might be that with new chapters, basically get more insights on Luffy's moves, you know, and that some animations just become deprecated and they do not fit into what we have done before. So loop this one, make sure that the animation priority is set to action, and yeah, now good to go. Right. Okay, there we go. Now, publish it to Roblox. Submit. Copy the ID. Close. There we go. Now, add the animation ID inside of this animation thing right here. Put the beam part back inside of this Gear 5 model. There we go. And now let's check this out. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I forgot to play the animation. So local A. G humanoid animator load animation. G idle A play. There we go. I think that I really should attach this beam part onto the upper torso instead of the humanoid root part, because as you have seen, the humanoid root part does not move, and therefore the beams they will just stay at their places, even though when the back of our Gear 5 model right here does not even fit with the beams. So now they do fit. Also make sure that all of the parts right here are maskless, because otherwise you'll have this problem with maskless, you know. What happens? What happens now? What happens now? Maskless. Massless, like massless means literally no mass, so there shouldn't be any resistance when it comes to moving around. So like, how is that even possible? Never mind. So this is of course not going to be the last video of this Gear 5 series, okay? So I'll be dropping more Gear 5 giveaways at this point, so when we have more information about how the Gear 5 actually looks like, because as for now we only have this one frame right here where he's like laughing his ass off with his weird hair, and we have also some frames where he's like playing around with Kaido, but nothing too serious, okay? So he did not like announce any cool technique or something. So he just took Kaido and threw him around a little. I've literally forgot to tell you how to make, make this unequip stuff. So actually pretty easy as well. So else if what, remove, then now just the exact opposite of what happens up here. 0, 0, else if name, no, it's root port because the human root port has to stay invisible, you know. Therefore, the transparency has to be 1 at this point. You also have to remove this gear 5 thing. So play character, wait for child, gear 5, destroy. Another thing is that we have to unload this idling animation. No, wait, we do not need to do that because we are getting rid of this gear 5 model. So that's actually it. There's nothing more to do. Whoa. It's not a valid number of. So we have to delete this model before even turning our character visible. Because as you can see, this right here is also affecting the Gear 5's character model. And we do not want this to happen. Okay, so this is it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all your friends. Leave me feedback in the comment section, guys. Take care and see you in the next video.